Hey, it's almost the end of June, and I'm talking with a wonderful friend again, Donna Stubenvoll, who is from Gaylord, Michigan. She's been expanding her toolbox, adding some new things, titles, modalities, is launching, or really has launched her practice. She's a realtor and has been in the Gaylord, I don't know, I have trouble with that, Michigan area for quite some time, but now is integrating all that she knows, all the wonderful spiritual modalities and experiences. She's taken my Akashic Record training and is a really wonderful participant in all we do in that realm. But we decided it was time for a little update. She is doing health and life coaching now, and can be done in person or remotely, and probably using similar technology to what we're doing for this conversation with friends. So welcome, Donna Stubenvoll. Donna, tell me what's going on. I'm excited for your launch.
Well, as you know, I have tried to, I do different things. I do the Akashic Records, which you are phenomenal at. And, I always look forward to our monthly session where that we can all talk. And Eric is fantastic with that. I've done his hypnosis classes, not his classes, but had the gastric bypass, the virtual one done with him. And if you're ever thinking about that you need to kind of kickstart, that is phenomenal. But what I'm doing now is a health and life coaching. And you may ask yourself, why would I want to coach? I know what to do. You know what? We all know what to do.
Yeah.
If we were going to do it, we would have done it by now. Sometimes we just need that little accountability. Oftentimes it's we know what we're supposed to eat. We know what we're supposed to do. We know that we should be working out at the first thing in the morning, but we don't do it. So sometimes we just need that little hand holding. As with you, we all do the little hand holding on the Akashic Records readings every month.
Yep.
It's just a way to get out there and practice and have somebody be there with us. And so what I do is I hold your hand through it. And as we were talking offline a little bit, it isn't so much of a diet. I hate that word diet. It is lifestyle. Diet it's temporarily.
Yep. Well, the funny thing is, as you were talking about, we know what to do. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, I know what to do. And when I'm not doing it, I'm telling myself, well, you really should be played away, or you really should be. And then I pop myself in the jaw a few times just for good measure. So I totally am on board with that. And then your other comment about diets, that's one of the big conversations I have, as you know, with the virtual gastric band clients, is that diets really don't work. They're not sustainable. They're based on deprivation. And whenever you have deprivation, then at some point you're going to blow it, and you're going to go on a feeding frenzy, and then you're going to beat yourself up about that. And so it sounds like the work that you're doing is quite similar in some respects to what I'm doing, that it's not about putting a Band-Aid on the cut. It's about digging down deep and getting to those causative factors that have created the outcome that the client is wanting to leave behind. And on that level, that's where the real healing takes place. That's where the real change takes place. And I think that people forget that in order for there to be change, there has to be change.
Right.
And it sounds a little bit like double talk, but yet it isn't, because how many people do you know that their attitude will, I'm going to keep doing the same things I've always done, but I'm going to get a different result.
Right. We know what to do. We just don't do it. Especially as you and I both know, whenever we start to, as a teenager or, 20 something, it's easy to stay motivated. But as we get older, we let life get in our way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
we let the dings and dents of life drive us, and that, yeah.
As you and I have talked many times, we forget even what we find joy in. How many times have I asked you, Eric, where's your joy?
Yeah. And how many times have I said, Joy. That sounds familiar, but I just can't place it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where the lifestyle and all of that comes into play with my business is, first of all, let's get your health back in where it needs to be. Let's start motivating you, getting you into, first of all, maybe the first step is to do the gastric bypass with Eric, which he is phenomenal at, let me tell you that. And then, maybe then what we need to do is, first of all, everybody's individual. So we're going to look at everybody and see where they're at. And so then let's figure out what your diet looks like. And we're not going to just take away everything at one time. We don't do that. Yes, I offer 7, 14, and 28-day cleanses where that we can maybe get rid of some of that sugar, because sugar is like a cocaine.
Okay.
Yeah. And so let's take a look and see, let's get your, let's kind of look and see what your body's needing right now. Let's look at that. But then let's look at your whole lifestyle. Maybe what we need to do is see where we're at spiritual, where again, your Akashic records come into play. Eric can sit down with you and he does phenomenal readings with the record keepers. And let him do that with you and find out maybe what the record keepers want you to know, and then let's take it from there. Let's look at your spiritual, your relationships, because in order to be happy, we're like a wheel, and if something is out of balance, say your tire's flat, you're not going to go easily through life. If you run out of gas and you're always giving, which we talk about a lot, you and I and everybody else in our readings group, is if you are giving all the time, you have nothing to give to yourself. So let's fill you up first.
And so many people put the wants and needs of everybody in their life, their job, their church, their kids, their spouse, their extended family, the world at large, they put all of those needs ahead of their own taking care of themselves. And you've heard me say this phrase way too many times, but you can't pour from an empty vessel.
Right.
So if you deplete yourself without giving yourself back, it's really, really going to be bad. It's interesting, in some of the readings I've done with people, I'll get a feeling of some sort of a problem in the right shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've come to find out is as I sort of twist my body around to get a sense of what's really going on there, is that more often than not, this is a person who is continually giving and giving and giving and giving. And the other side is the side you receive with.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only do their shoulders get jacked up, but even down in their lower back, because they're always out of balance. They're always reaching out to give. And for many of them, they seem to have the mistaken notion that they're not worthy of receiving. Oh, no, you don't need to do that. You don't need to give me that. You don't need to do that for me. That's oftentimes is an underlying insecurity about that they don't deserve anybody else to love them, adore them, take care of them, assist them. Mm-hmm. That applies for me above as below, right? So on a human level, but also with our spiritual crew, the guides and angels that travel with us, they're standing there leaning up against the wall, twiddling their thumbs, laughing at us, saying, man, that Donna, one of these days, she's going to learn that we're here to do the heavy lifting, but she has to ask us.
Right.
Because if there is no question, there can be no answer. And so they're all standing there thinking, well, we could make this so much easier if she would just remember to ask us.
Yeah.
But we're hesitant to ask because even in that realm, many of us are of the opinion that, they're way too busy with important things.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't many things that are more important to the crew that travels with us than our well-being and us achieving what we came here to achieve. So I think I've shared with you before And I tell stories, and I know you've heard it before, but maybe somebody watching this won't have heard it. But I did a meditation a number of years ago and had a good conversation going with the one who created me. And it was really interesting. It was really life-changing for me. The essence of it was, the message from her was, hey, Eric, you do remember that I'm like the one that created you. And when I look at you, I see some of my amazing, really good work. So who the hell do you think you are to see yourself as so much less? That was a bit of an eye-opener for me. If the one that I pray to, the one who created me, by whatever name or gender you refer to them, if she looks down and says, man, I did okay, I've got a lot of nerve to disagree with that. And I still do, and I still twitch, and but it did give me a little different perspective on how I walk through the world. So
that's true. And like I said, we do these readings every month. Eric is fabulous. If you ever take one of his Akashic Records classes, first of all, you can always join once you've paid for level 1 and level 2. You can always go back and join him every month that he's offering these. So I understand that, and so that always gives you a little extra practice. And I look at it like it always gives me extra practice. And then I am also able to get readings from you guys, and we do what we call a round robin on those. Every month we all meet up and we do a thing. So never think that once you've taken a class with Eric that then you're all done, because you're not.
Yeah, well, and I've taken those classes from the people that I learned from literally dozens of times, and each time it was a different experience. And that's one of the reasons that I offer it. Pay me once for this class and you're in for life. But then the play date, we do a monthly play date that Donna has referenced a couple of times. For me, that was about building community. That was about keeping the people, and there've probably been 30, maybe 40 people that have taken that training with me now. It was about keeping them in the room, keeping that conversation going. And I know that there's a lot of back and forth that happens. Different people in the group are doing different healing modalities, different spiritual things, coaching. So I know that there's been some interaction and some referrals take place there. That's a bonus, but really the whole deal was I wanted to have ongoing conversations with these people because, man, there have been some just totally amazing people that have come through the trainings. So
there has. And like I said, every month we all read for each other, and oftentimes they overlap, so that you're not making this stuff up.
Yeah. It's very cool. So in the crawl and in the closing credits, I'm going to give everybody Donna's contact information and phone number. She's working on her website, but it's not quite ready for prime time yet. But follow her on Facebook, follow me on Facebook. My website will always have my training classes, the fairs and expos that I'm participating in, and I'm doing a lot more of those. Boy, I'm up in Houghton Lake 2 or 3 times this summer, and I'm going back into the Downriver area. I've got one in Frankenmuth, one in, I forget if it's Southgate or Southfield. I think I've got one in each. Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, maybe even Fort Wayne. So I've added a ton of those. I'm doing Akashic Record and intuitive counseling sessions that Donna has talked about the work I do. But I'm also always happy to have conversation about the hypnotherapy work I do. And I'm working on, this is new to you even, Donna, I'm working on a new workshop series. The working title is The Power of Your Mind. And it's going to be, I think it's either 3 or 4 different weeks of it. And each participant then will get a copy of the ebook I'm writing, which is also entitled The Power of Your Mind. And so I'm pretty excited about that. I just started it a couple of weeks ago. Lots to do yet, but we're getting there. So What else would you like to share, Donna? Who is the ideal client that you're looking for?
I would say anybody over 40. You know, I'll work with whatever age group, but anybody over 40, oftentimes we are the ones that we're so busy taking care of everybody else that we forget to take care of us. And we are just as important. You know, we've lost our drive. We've, you know, let life get at us, and we've maybe eaten things we shouldn't have. We've slowed down on our exercise. So, you know, I want to bring back, help you, because it's all revolving what you're willing to put into it.
Yep.
Help you bring back your life
And
become.
Oftentimes, I think in that 40 plus category, you have people that are at that place in life where they're going, I thought there'd be more.
Yeah.
Is this all there is?
Yeah.
And it sounds to me like you're the perfect tour guide, showing them the doors of where richer, juicier, healthier, happier could be, and to show them that it is really accessible to them.
It is.
I'm excited.
And you know, I'm really good about hand holding, but I'm also really good, as Eric will tell you, I give it to you straight.
Yep. That when a butt kick is what's ordered, then Donna is not afraid to do that. You also do theta, don't you?
Yes, I do theta. And what theta is where that if we find out that you've got blocks, and oftentimes where a lot of this has went is we find out that there's some blocks.
Yep.
And so I'm able to go up to God, creator of the angels, and we're able to dig down deep, first of all, and find out where your blocks are. And then I can go with them and go in with your permission and release those blocks and help you work through those.
That's some powerful stuff. I've experienced that. And yeah, that's some good stuff. So know that no matter where you are, if you have halfway decent internet or a phone line, that either Donna or I are able to do what we do with you remotely. I'm in Grand Rapids. I have an office right near Breton Village Mall. Always happy to see people in person, but really with Zoom, it's like I'm in person with them no matter where. And I work with people all over North America. So that's not a problem.
Yeah, and you know, whenever you and I did the visual gastric bypass, I was here in Gaylord. You were down in Grand Rapids.
No, I was actually in Florida.
Florida, that's right.
I was in Florida, yeah.
So you don't have to be right there, but we can still have the same hand holding. We can still have all of the same stuff as if you were here with us.
Exactly right. So our phone numbers, email addresses, my website, because mine is maybe not ready for prime time, but it's out there, will all be embedded into this video. If you have questions or concerns, want to talk about how any of this might fit into your life, might help you enhance your life, please don't be bashful. Both of us are absolutely thrilled to have those conversations. We do them without obligation, without cost, on a preliminary, how is this going to work? What could we possibly do? Could you maybe help me with this or that? And then we custom design everything we do for the needs of our client. So, Donna, thank you. As always, a pleasure to talk to you. And I'll see you at the next play date.
All right, sounds good. I look forward to it.
Okay.
Thank you.